love for Ireland since at least the 6th grade, and I've got proof. I didn't meet my husband until sophomore year of high school, so I think I just have a thing for the Irish. My Irish accent, even full spoken, isn't great. So, I'm sorry if there's any Irish speaking or Irish descent people on my page today. I am not great. His grandmother, on the other hand, has a beautiful Belfast Irish accent, and I talk to her a lot on the phone, and it's really more like a mix between a British accent and a Scottish accent. It's very much in the front of the mouth. I've been practicing for a while, but I haven't used my Irish accent in quite some time. I used to talk in an Irish accent all the time, but I quit because it annoyed my family. So, today, on St. Patrick's Day, I wanted to try and do a video where I speak in Gaelic a little. I've also got a cup of tea, or as grandmother would say it, a cuppa. Each morning, when I spent my honeymoon over in San Diego with my Irish grandmother-in-law, I would get up before anybody else, minus grandma. She was always up the same time I was, and I would make myself a cup of coffee, and she would go, "Oh, you're just having a cuppa." She's the sweetest woman. Very frail. She is 92 years old, and she still drives. She's a very, very strong-willed Irish woman. So, today I've got my hair braided in the Celtic braid. I've got my Irish protection symbol, the Celtic Trinity. Very many things I see in our very Irish decorated home. But I thought I would share a few of my favourite Gaelic phrases with you guys today, and then update you on what I've been doing. I apologise for the construction in the background. There's a church right down the road from us, and I'm not sure what they're building, but they've been building it for a while. Not a clue. I've actually done up my makeup as well. I've got glitter, in case you guys can't see it in the white. I've got glitter all over my eyes. Tonight's also a full moon, so I'll be celebrating in the moonlight at about 8 o'clock my time. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I'd like to show you my teacup first. We have a set of 4 of these lovely little teacups. If I can grab it without burning my fingers. It says Irish coffee. And on the back, there's a little Irish phrase. Each one has a different phrase. Of the set of 4 cups we got, this one is my favourite. It says, "May the saddest days of your future be no worse than the happiest days of your past." And then I've got a cup of Twinings Irish breakfast tea. Though the tag doesn't say Irish breakfast, it only says Twinings on it. Twinings is how it's pronounced. It's and she poured tea like a pro. But granted, we had tea every morning for breakfast and every lunch for afternoon tea. And I thought it was just the absolute best thing in the entire world. She's a wonderful woman, and I can't wait to go back. She's actually throwing a St. Patrick's Day party at her house in San Diego this afternoon. She's having all of her friends come over. And she, like most British or Irish, call cookies biscuits. And we would have tea and biscuits for lunch. It was wonderful. But I have some Gaelic words for you guys. Gaelic is a nice word for me. I like it. I like a good Irish accent. I'm not going to look at my phone for it either. Several of these I have memorized. The first is Fia. F I A Fia. Fia means deer in Gaelic. Another word I really like. My favorite word in Gaelic is Porton. That's P O with an accent. R. Wait, no, it's P O R T A with an accent in Porton. It means crab. It means crab in Gaelic. Oh, Ron, R-O-N or R-O-A-N. You see, it's spelled differently in different. It's much like in America, where different people have different dialects, different things that you say. Ireland is the same way. Different spellings, different dialects. So how I learned it is very different than how it would depend on where you're at as to how you learn it. But Ron means seal, and Ron Inish means island. Inish is island, so Seal Island. There's actually a movie called Ron Inish, and it's about the Seal Island. It's very wonderful. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. I believe I saw it either on Netflix by chance, or I watched it through YouTube. I cannot remember. Another favorite of mine is Feelagón. Feelagón means butterfly in Gaelic. Anytime I see a butterfly, I always shout Feelagón. Ulam means apple. Apple in Gaelic. Let me think of another really good one. My apologies. I didn't put my phone on silent today. I figured that people would be nice. But no such luck. There. Put everything on silent. A friend of mine texting me. I'm actually writing a book with a friend of mine currently, Salanju, which means chairs. Matenva. Slanjuva means good help. Hello means hello, obviously. Those are mostly Scottish Gaelic. Ahar and Mahar are mother and father. Amor Ort means good luck. Ayr means Ireland. I guess there are better ways to learn Irish than I like the Gaelic names. A name that I really like for a baby boy is Finnegan. But they also have Aidan, Angus, Cormac, Maeve, Brian, Effie, Keome, Ainsling, Eodum, Ciaran, Sean, Rowan, Deirdre, Craig, Fiona, Cersei, Patrick, Blair, Ain, Rory, Connor, Eva, Bly, Brogan, Conlon, Declan. There are several very pretty Irish names. I figured I'd have a lot more Gaelic to speak in this video than I thought, but it's quite hard. Like I said, a lot of Gaelic words are very subjective. They're very different across the board. I've got acne showing up all over my face today, probably because of all the makeup. Ouch, that hurt. Oh. Alright. Now for the exciting bit. For those of you that don't care about my live updates or don't like the whisper rambles, you're more than welcome to leave. Though I am going to continue talking in this Gaelic accent, so those of you who would like to stay and just hear me continue talking in the Irish accent, you may continue to stay. So, I will remember at like 14, I'll make it 15 minutes, that we are going to talk about my life update now. So, my husband and I have been very busy. My husband's work schedule has been all over the board. They've moved him from one building to another, to a different machine, to a different position entirely. He was going to go on 12-hour rotations. They ended up not putting him on 12-hour rotations, but they're keeping him an extra hour to a half hour to an hour after work to help with a woman who has decided she doesn't want to listen to the woman who trained her. So that's becoming a bit of an issue for us. I have been waiting up in the middle of the night, very late, for him to come home and being very worried about him. Because I don't know whether or not he's going to be staying over, or whether... Gracious, excuse me a sorry, I just got done eating a big meal. We actually went and ate out at a little Chinese, an Asian hibachi today. But, anywho, we are still trying for a wee baby. We are not yet pregnant, or I am unsure. For those of you very interested in my journey, I've taken 4 tests this month, all of which turned out negative, though I still haven't had a menstrual cycle, so I plan to go and get checked by a doctor within the next month, just to be sure. Although she did tell me I might have very messed cycles because of our loss last month, so we are very hopeful that within this year we shall have a wee one on the way. I do plan to record every Thursday at about this time, though I think I might go ahead and push every Thursday at a later date, because I actually have a blanket up in the window currently just to keep as much of the glare down as I can. The glare at this hour is insane, so I will be working my best to make sure I'm doing videos every Thursday night. The goal is every Thursday night. I want to try to record once a week for you guys. I know many of you miss my videos very much, and I feel like I've lost several viewers. I feel like several people have just ignored my videos, and I get to be the same way. I blame none of you. Don't. I see you all coming into my comment section apologizing every day for not watching my videos when they come out. That is fine. I don't necessarily need, everybody to be there right when they come out. The way that I deal with my YouTube videos, every now and again, I will get an urge to go through my subscription feed. I will scroll through, and I will add the videos to a playlist. My watch later playlist, which is not made public. Through that playlist, every now and again, I will turn it on and watch through it. So I'll either watch like 1 or 2 videos. Sometimes I'll forget, but sometimes I'll really like them and I'll add them to my other playlists. So like my ASMR triggers, my favorite ASMR triggers, and the best ASMR triggers. And sometimes it'll be days, sometimes it'll be months before I get to the videos, and oftentimes I will get tired after a while and I don't catch everyone. I will go through the home page as well, and I'll end up going through just tons of videos, random videos. I will even search for certain triggers that I'm feeling. So I end up with a bunch, and so I don't blame anybody for not watching my videos. I don't do this to get money. I don't get paid for this, so you guys aren't damaging my paycheck by not watching my videos. You watch my videos when you'd like. You're more than welcome to watch them, whenever you like. If you don't like them, you don't have to watch them. I get that way. I feel so guilty. I have several artists that I support, because I like only a few of their videos. Like, there's some artists that do multiple triggers, but I only follow them for one specific trigger that they do, or one specific video that they've done. And the rest of their videos, I will watch them, and they'll either be talking too loud, they'll have too much going on in the background, or it just isn't a trigger that I'm interested in. A lot of times I'll follow a certain ASMR artist that don't whisper very often. So like, every now and again, you'll have an ASMR artist that soft speaks instead of whispers, and when I put them in a playlist together, extremely quiet. And then the next video after that is like several volumes louder. I don't necessarily like that. Because it's really distracting to me. So like if I watch a video that's soft whisper like what I am doing now, and then it goes to a video that is nothing but like a soft spoken, I'll skip those, and sometimes I'll never go back to them. So it could be a great video, I just won't watch it because it's not at the sound that I like, it's really sad because some days I can go through and watch those and be just fine. It's telling me that my watch battery is low, though I've just charged it the other night. I guess I must be quite careful. I could very easily, as they say, dox myself. But this is my husband's coat of arms. Mine and my husband's coat of arms. I will cover up the last name. I wear it as a pendant. I also have the Celtic tree of life as well as a shamrock with shamrock earrings. Actually, the shamrock was a different necklace that the chain is broken on, and the Celtic tree of life is from a completely different piece of jewelry entirely. I combined the two whenever they broke. The earrings, actually, one of them is extremely bent in the back. Not sure how that happened. These were a gift for one of my birthdays. I like them because not only are they the shamrock, but they have the peridot gemstone in them as well. That was my husband's mother's birthstone. She passed when he was 9. And I like to honor her by wearing her birthstone. I feel like she is not honored in a kind way by many people. She wasn't the best person. She was very heavily into drugs and alcohol to self-medicate an issue with PTSD. She was an EMT in the Navy SEALs for several years. But I don't know much about her. I have taken off my fingernails as well. They were far too long, and as you can see, my fingers are really not liking me. I haven't had a clean fingernail, as in a fingernail with no polish, for gosh, it's been several months. I was going from fingernails to fingernails. Other than that, there's not too much to talk about. My teaching has been going very well. I do not remember if I've told you guys I do have a job. I teach my niece, my husband's half-brother's daughter. I teach her kindergarten. She is very bright. She has a homeschool book of several little lessons. And she has little books for each lesson. So each lesson has a little book and a little, crafts for each one. It's really fun, and it makes her like me a lot more. She told me on many occasions, she goes, I wish you could be my mum. And Well, I told her your mom is pretty cool as well. Don't write your mom off just yet. And, gosh, and some days she's really frustrated at me. Some days I make her do a lot of work. Some days I have her doing handwriting sheets and number sheets and all sorts of that. And she'll ask me, when are we going to do something fun? But this week, her two older siblings there are 4 kids in the family. There are, one is in 5th grade, one is in 4th, and then we've got the one that is in kindergarten, and another who is, merely 3. Well, actually, gosh, he's just turned 5. He's going to be going into kindergarten next year, so I believe we've elected to homeschool him for his first year of school as well. But I don't know if she has changed her mind or not, with that. But she's really smart. Today we drew maps. The book talked about going on a hunt for leaves. And we were supposed to start our schooling in August of last year. But due to circumstances, she did not purchase the book until a month before I started. So it's been a little funny. We actually started in January of this year, though we were supposed to start in August. It would have lined up perfect if we would have started it when we were supposed to, but no matter, we made our own leaves and we've made our own maps. She already knows how to do all of her counting and everything. She's very bright. I like to make extra lessons. I've given her, she has an iPad or a little tablet that she gets games on. Her mother has helped me download a few games on her iPad that she could learn, and I keep them on mine as well. I always think my job is so much fun. I get to play with kids all day. But her 2 older siblings and her younger sibling are home this week for spring break, and today we learned about St. Patrick's Day. Did you know that St. Patrick's Day is celebrated because the Catholic St. Patrick drove all of the snakes out of Ireland on this day? There is not a snake in Ireland, and when I first learned about that, I had to fact check it. There's no way with such lush, beautiful grass, there's no snakes in Ireland, but it's true. There's not a snake in Ireland. Unless you bring a snake to Ireland. If you bring a snake to Ireland, I don't think the Irish like you very much. But, this video is already 30 minutes long. I'd like to try to keep it a little bit longer, but, I don't really know what else to say other than to just mumble for you guys in my Irish accent. I hope this was very relaxing for you. If you guys like my Gaelic accent, let me know. I'll do another video of more Gaelic trigger words if that is something you guys are interested in. If not, then I will very gladly stop. I don't necessarily have a problem. It's like riding a bike. After a while, you remember how to speak it again. So I'm going to let you all go for the evening. You guys have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I was going to do an Irish proverb, but I don't want to butcher it too terribly bad, so I'm just going to leave you off with a goodbye. I'll see you all next Thursday.